Hey, what is up, y'all? I am back again to do a quick movie review of The Strangers Chapter 2. Not to be, again, mixed up with, I even mixed this up myself, The Strangers Prey at Night, which is a sequel to the very first The Strangers original movie that came out in 2008. Was it 2009? Somewhere in that, yeah. Seems like a long, long time ago, but I've been a very big fan of that. I don't even want to call it series because I think after The Strangers Prey at Night, the one with Bailey Madison in it kind of, you know, I think they sort of almost rebooted it for the newest one, or the newest series, with Madeline Pooch. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. I don't. I just give it up. Madeline. So um, and the first The Strangers Chapter One, again, not to be confused with the very first original Strangers movie. Um, I believe that came out in 2020. I think it was 2023 or something. Honestly, I completely forgot. I just know that the second one, Chapter 2, um, recently came out, just literally less than a week ago. So again, it's completely different characters though from the very like original. Actually, each movie at this point, which there's only I think four movies in total. I'll have to double check this after I get off of here. But The Strangers Chapter One, um, with Madeline, uh, came out again. I think that was a couple years ago, but has is in a way a reboot or a remake of the original. I'm not sure what direction they were trying to go with that, but overall, kind of a similar premise as the original idea of what was it called? Excuse me, um, home invasions. That's the basic uh, premise and basic, plot of all these movies. Essentially, I think the first one, from what I remember, it was Madeline P's character, and I keep forgetting the main guy actor's name. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. I haven't seen him in other stuff, but if you guys know, please comment down below. He was So, it's Madeline and the guy, his character. Um, they are in a remote cabin or something. It's very similar to the first one where they're a couple, enjoying their evening or whatever, and then um, just like the first one, the very first one, 2008. Um, yeah, masked people, individuals, come knocking, and yeah, end up. And this is a spoiler from the first one if you have not seen it, from chapter one at least. I'm not going to get into the other um, uh, original and sequel, but um, yeah, basically they killed off her boyfriend, Madeline Push's character's boyfriend, but she survived. And this second movie, chapter two, is exactly it. That's the entire plot of the second one, which is she survives and they're trying to hunt her down. It's just simple as that. And I will be pretty brief with this movie review, just because these are one of these movies where it's like um it was pretty entertaining to see, but it wasn't like something I am just off the rails talking about it and like going crazy over. You'll know when I am so engrossed into a movie and love everything there is, and I will not stop talking about it. But nevertheless, again, overall, this movie was very entertaining for sure. I think I enjoyed more of the um, camera work and angles and shots and everything more than anything. Um, Although this movie, I would say, if I do admire how it focuses on like the sound design, which for these types of movies you wouldn't expect. It's a very straightforward plot of, killers are trying to hunt you down, you gotta survive. It's a survival movie essentially, and in Madeline Push's character's case, that's what she's trying to do. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. The characters are almost so not memorable to the point I completely forgot her character's name. Um, what is her name? Oh my goodness. Oh, Maya. You see, she is literally the sole survivor and main character of this movie, but I forgot her name. So I'm pretty sure it's Maya. But anyways, yeah, Maya tries her. She, you know, um, she in the very beginning of the film, she is in hospital because she got stabbed, and unfortunately, her fiance did not survive. Um, but she did. So she ends up in a hospital the very beginning of the movie, and she, I do enjoy what this movie specifically does. It's not perfect, but I do enjoy that it follows. You don't know where it's going to take you, and sometimes you're questioning, is this a dream, is this really happening? I'll give you an example. For the beginning of the movie, when she's in the hospital and she hears those, like, hears noises, and then all of a sudden the masked killers come back, you're almost thinking, oh, is this actually happening, is this a dream? Because in this movie, I do really enjoy how they build tension and make you very anxious, make you just not trust anyone. They're putting you inside the shoes of Madeline Puch's character, Maya. I think they did a really good job of that, because if they can make you feel anxious yourself, and you're not able to trust anyone, you're questioning your own sanity at that point, which I do enjoy how movies do that, because then it's almost like a psychological battle within the viewer, the audience, and the story, and the movie itself. But yeah, I think that is what I enjoyed most about this movie. Like, some of the tracking shots were great, some of the panning back and forth, which I really love when horror movies do that, because it really catches you off guard for sure. Like, that is definitely for me, panning over, zooming in, overhead shots are really great. Just to name a few, at least the top three horror movie shots, like that style is definitely my thing for sure. But yeah, overall, I think it's um, again, it's just a very average movie for me. It's again a part of a series, or again, it's the sequel to the chapter one that came out a couple of years ago, but it's um, it definitely feels very different from the first one. I'm not gonna lie, because she encounters several characters along the whole her whole journey throughout this movie, but it feels like she is going through it pretty much alone, and she goes through it. I will, again, if you're gonna planning on seeing the movie, please, not trying to spoil anything, just go see it before you come back here if you want to watch me talk about it more. But yeah, she goes through it for sure, and you feel her pain physically and mentally. So uh, I do enjoy the raw realness. I don't know if you wanted to say it like that, of the movie. It feels a lot more just like in your face. This is the reality and aftermath of what has happened, and it doesn't. There are some interesting scenes in this movie. I won't go into it with the spoilers and everything. Please go watch it yourself, and it is a very enjoyable movie experience, regardless of what you think about it in the end. So, that's just advice from me. But yeah, no, again, overall, I think it was pretty entertaining. The most surprising part, actually not really, but after the movie was finished, had a great time. After credit scene, oh, and again, please click away if you do. I mean, not really a spoiler, but at the same time, it's better if you go into this blind and not knowing what they're working on next. Um, but was very shocked to hear that they're making a chapter 3, a Strangers chapter 3. So the one with Madeline Push's character Maya's timeline, or I guess I don't even know how to say it. Man, my film terminology has like gone out the window for the past few years. But they're still following her story at this point, and she is again the sole survivor, and will continue with her on to the third one, which I was actually very surprised, because I was like, oh, chapter 2 has got to be it. Everything has the final battle. It's got to be over, right? Like, nope. They are making a chapter 3, which I have no idea when it's coming out. It's probably next year or the year after that. If you guys know information, um, please comment down below and let me know more about it, because you already know how much I love discussing and talking and analyzing about film in general, so it'd be great to hear from you guys. But yeah, I will probably see it regardless. I think, aside from the suspension of disbelief of some of these movies, um, I think the overall, like the general concept, and uh, just this whole idea, it's scary, not even because of the creativity and how they portray this type of I guess content, or but it's reality. That's actually what's the scariest thing about it, at least for me, because believe it or not, and it's really interesting that they put this the very beginning, kind of like the Conjuring series, is they do like a fact, kind of, they do it for a lot of movies, but they talk about how every year, or this specific year, um, how many people were murdered in the U.S. or something, just chosen at random by strangers, which when and which is true, because it makes it even scarier, because you think that it just makes you think twice about your safety, and how messed up the world really is. So, which again is a great tactic for these types of like movies with marketing and everything. But no, and that's even for me, that does make it a lot scarier, because this is a realistic thing that can happen. So it's nothing like you would think. You know, horror movies typically are fake, and it's all fiction, but which is true to some extent. But like this type of stuff is the reality we live in, and to make it into a form of entertainment, and even if it's amped up a bit, like more dramatic and exaggerated, still makes it pretty scary overall. So I did enjoy it. Not my favorite for sure. It's just an enjoyable horror movie for me, like any other. So, um, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably rate it like a 6. I've gotten a bit, sort of, not really, more critical of horror movies in general over time. It doesn't take a lot for me to find a horror movie like a outstanding horror movie, or a horror movie to stand out for me. But again, this was just your average, kind of serial killer slasher, survival horror movie, which I enjoyed it. I think, you know, I guess Madeline's acting is pretty good. You know, I mean, for this type of movie, again, she's a good actress overall. But yeah. So let me know what you guys thought about this movie, if you have already seen it, and if you haven't, give it a chance. Maybe you might like it. I'm just a big film fanatic overall, so it doesn't, regardless, I will always enjoy and see film as its own art, whether good or bad. It's subjective. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my very brief movie review of The Strangers Chapter 2 that came out this year, about a week ago in 2025. So yeah, more scary movies to come. And I'm so sorry I haven't done any other horror movie reviews of this year. I know the one I couldn't stop talking about, and I like is by far my favorite horror movie of this year, is Weapons. And I'm sorry I didn't do a movie review on it. I can still do one, but I think that came out almost 2 months ago, and it's probably too late to do like a rerun of it. But I'll try to continue these whenever I can. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Comment down below, or comment, I guess. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.